Authors, hope you guys are having an amazing Monday. Natasa Denman, the ultimate 48-hour author, and today I wanted to connect with you guys and speak a little bit about some of the core mistakes that I see brand new authors, first-time authors make when they attempt the do-it-yourself approach. And how do I know this? Is because I was one of those myself. About 8 years ago, I wrote my first book myself, and now in hindsight, looking back, I am cringing at the fact of all of these mistakes that I will share with you today that I see new authors make because they attempt to do this all by themselves. So here we go. We're going to be here for about 5 or 10 minutes. We're going to go through the 5 big mistakes, and I just want you to be very mindful of those in your decision of executing your book moving forward, and how you're going to do it. Of course, once you've done it for the very first time, you can do it over and over and over again and replicate the process, and it's so much easier than for the very first time. And this is where, for the first time, you're kind of walking through fog and trying to figure out what the various steps are and what to expect and what not to expect, and how much time is truly dedicated to the book writing journey. So here we go. Mistake number 1 of the 5 that new authors make when they try to the do-it-yourself approach is poor visual finish of the book. So the cover, the design, the choice of fonts, the internal layout can look really, really off, because what I have found is that first-time authors do not know what they're actually looking for. So they're at the mercy of a cover designer or an internal layout designer who is obviously doing the best they can to provide what the author wants. But if you don't have the expertise or the knowledge or the savviness in terms of what works well for covers and internal design, then you are going to make those mistakes. How do I know this? Because I know about my own book, but also I have seen people who have gone off and go, I'm going to do this myself, and they have sent and posted the book out to me. They go, look, I did it all by myself. You know, I'm so happy. Thank you for showing me, you know, the stuff in your half-day event. And then I look through it and I kind of go, oh, I wouldn't have done this way or that way. Of course, there's many different ways to reach an outcome, and maybe the way that I would recommend would be different, but I believe that if you were working with someone who has been through the process of having helped many people do it, you will make less of these mistakes, and you will have a lot more of you know, on the ball kind of advice to get it finished. So that was number 1, poor visual outcomes when it comes to the cover and in the internal layout. Now, mistake number 2 is lack of marketing savviness throughout the book, right? A lot of the time authors go, I'll just share all the content, all of the stories, all of the information, but what is missing is the calls to action, any offers that they might want to put at the back of the book, any kind of lead generation that can be put in a book so that you can continue the conversation with potential clients outside of the content of the book, right? And I see this missing. And doesn't matter how many times I say it to people, even my own authors, sometimes I'll get the book at the final stage and go, where are your offers? Why aren't they there? Or, you know, you've missed this part. Why haven't you put that in there? And they go, oh, you know, and so then we go back and we reset those certain aspects. And of course, the way you speak about what you have to offer further to the book is also an important aspect. Of course, what I'm talking about here is not just about it's more related to those people who want to build a business behind the book and not just say a fiction book or one that's kind of like a life story and it was only for personal reasons. So that was not mistake number 2, is they're missing the marketing positioning in the book, and how people can continue that conversation further. Now, number 3 mistake is missing sections, right? A lot of the time people think, okay, well, I'll just write the book, there'll be an introduction, there'll be chapters, and you know, at the end I'll have the call to action. Hey, hi Tricia, great to see you. And Tricia is an author herself, and her daughter and herself are coming along to our next retreat, which is really exciting. So what was I saying? Missing sections. So a book can actually have quite a lot of different sections. This is why I also say it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You need to put all of the things together, whether it's testimonials, acknowledgements, the offers at the back of the book, the about the author section, dedication, new contents, all of the appendices. There's so much in there that you can put in that kind of makes sense, and you can add more value to your reader. But I see people who try to do the process themselves, they're missing a lot of these sections. There could have been other opportunities of either offering and promoting themselves versus just, putting the content out there. So missing sections, that was mistake number 3. All right, let's go. Mistake number 4 is poor structure and inconsistencies throughout the book, right? So not knowing how to do it or have some kind of a template of a way that you're going to follow the book is also a big mistake I see. It's kind of like just brain dump that has been put down in each of the chapters, and then there's nothing else to that ties things together. So the reader is taken on a journey where they can almost predict what's coming. Is there going to be action points at the end of the chapter or summary points? How will the quotes look? How do you make things look consistent all the way through so that it is easy on the eye and it doesn't disrupt the reader's flow? So that's another mistake that I see in those people who try to do this all by themselves the very first time. And number 5 mistake that first-time authors make when trying to do it themselves is wasting a lot of time. Now, I divided this wasting time into 3 different ways. So I want to explain exactly what those 3 different areas of wasting time are, because I came prepared today. I had everything outlined. I brainstormed this because I wanted you to really think about rewind the clock back and think of my own journey as a first-time author, trying to do it myself, but also the things that I'm seeing other people that are repetitively repeating as mistakes. Okay, lack of accountability is one way to waste a lot of time. When you're not accountable to someone or people that you've committed that you're going to write your book, that is going to can prolong the process on and on and on and on and on, and you will not end up finishing it. So lack of accountability is really a huge way that people you can establish it for yourself, right? You can ask certain people to be accountable for you. You don't even need to have a mentor. However, a lot of people actually keep it quiet because they're too scared that this commitment that they're making, maybe it's too big and maybe I'll just keep it secret. What if I fail, right? The second way people waste a lot of time is because they've been started to write their first book 5 to 10 years ago, and guess what? Their content is outdated. So having outdated content means that perhaps you're going to rework it. You need to rework it all over again, because the you that's writing the book right now is not the same you that was started writing the book 5 to 10 years ago. So not only have you wasted all that time and energy into doing dribs and drabs over a period of time, you're now faced with the reworking. And I usually say to people, scrap it all out and start all over again, because now you got to write it from the person that you are today and from this perspective, because that'll shift again in a few years' time. So therefore, it's easier to start again than to rework something that was started 5 to 10 years ago. And then the third way of wasting time is trying to source experts that will help you pull this project together. So, your editors, your designers, your cover people, all that kind of stuff, and trying to project manage all of this yourself. What a waste of time, because if you don't know which people are great and been vetted and have been checked through, and, you have then there's a relationship there, you don't know who you're actually placing your intellectual property into whose hands. So these are all various different aspects of kind of approaching it. I'm going to save time, I'm going to save money doing it all myself. But at the end, the heartache, the stress, the perhaps poor outcome is not worth it. my recommendation is go and find someone that is going to guide you through the whole process and just show you the path. Once you have done it once, I can guarantee you can do it second, third, 10th time, 15th time, just like I have, and I see my authors do it all the time after they've done the program for the very first time. So I'm really, really passionate about first time you go and you learn from somebody. Just like driving a car, you guys, you don't just jump into a car and drive on the road. You need to get that driving instructor to show you the road, how to turn the car on, how to avoid, accidents and follow the road rules. And therefore, then you're allowed to have a license, and then you can drive many different cars. So writing a book is exactly the same way. Get in bed with someone with a license. Well, not literally, but get in, learn from someone, and therefore you will be able to replicate it and do it so many. And it's so rewarding and so addictive, and it's so powerful, such a powerful way to generate further business, get passive income, sell lots of products along the way, and really build up your profile, your brand, your credibility. So don't just sit with it, just go out and get it done. We're about to start a mini national tour. So we finished the major one at the start of the year. We've had a month off now, family time, Easter, Anzac Day, all of that sort of stuff, and we're fully recharged and ready to go again. So from about the 15th of May, we're going to come across to Wollongong, Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Brisbane, and Sunshine Coast. So that's our mini 8-event tour before we have our mid-year break that's starting. Look it up. I'm sure somewhere on this page in the events is our links, or bit.ly Australian tour is where I keep all of my events. And I'd love to see you at a half-day workshop if you have not attended it. Some of these questions do get answered, and I do have people who leave the half-day workshop and go, wow, Nat, I can't believe you actually share so much that I feel like I can do this on my own. And I said, just don't be fooled. I said, yes, I do share a lot, and I give you guys a lot of tips and strategies, but there's so much also other intricate details that goes beyond these big layers of information that I have shared that are sub-actions or sub-topics that I don't have enough time to be able to explain. But I'm very grateful that I get awesome feedback. We've done the workshop now over 150 times now, and I can't wait to do it some more, because this is where I discover this new author talent and people who become part of our family. So I trust this has been valuable. Let me know which one of those mistakes you have experienced, maybe yourself or you've seen other people make around you. And I do wish that everyone does and writes their very first book, because not many people actually, everyone wants to do it, but such a small percentage of people ever actually get it done. So have a wonderful Monday and week, and I will connect with you guys. Let me know what questions around book writing or publishing you might have, and I might come up and do some lives around those questions to add even more value to you. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.